Good afternoon and welcome to the Wednesday night futures video here, Simply Futures. So we've been trading higher in the equity index space for about 10 out of the last 11 sessions until today, when we got just a little bit of a breather. No big deal, just a little bit of a breather. There was not terribly much going on in the overnight last night. Then there was not terribly much going on today in terms of range or volume participation or anything. But this puts us right in front of tomorrow, Thursday, being the last trading day of the month and quarter, in this case, end of quarter. So I am going to give you a plan for targets both above and below. And I believe that we would also, with this, use about, I don't know where this thing will open tomorrow morning, obviously, right? But I'm going to say 46.11 over under line in the sand. Okay? Lean long above, short below. Bearish targets for tomorrow. If below, lean short below. Bearish targets for tomorrow will be 45.61 and 45.40, may as well call it 5. It's like you could shoot for 45.42 or something, but 45.61 and 45 45, 43, 45, something like that, but 45. 46.11 line in the sand, and then bullish targets are to be 46.33 and 46.45. 45, there's some serious overhead at 45, okay? 46.45, there's like a real, if it hits that, you can know that that's very, very much going to be like a high probability high that will come right back in. So there's serious overhead at 46.45. Furthermore, if you note here, look at this, is interesting. Look at this. Look at the price action today. You got the high, then lower high, and lower high, and lower high, all the way down, right? Price is kind of descending. But look at the delta. The volume cumulative delta was positive throughout this selling today. And it wasn't really that much selling, my goodness gracious. All it did was come back and hit the gap mid of the remaining portion of the gap from Monday's high to yesterday, Tuesday's low. Monday's high was at 72, and yesterday, Tuesday's low was at 82. So all it did was come in and basically touch off on the gap mid of that remaining portion of the gap. So no big deal. So it was, but while price was coming in a little bit, the delta was positive. And that's interesting. That really is. It does not bode well for any bears that thought they might be onto something here today. One last thing is to always remember on the last trading day of the month that there is a there's a setup that we call the walkaway trade that has a tendency to start to catch a bid for higher at 12:30 Central Chicago time and trade higher into 1 o'clock for 30 minutes, trade higher into 1 o'clock Central Time tomorrow afternoon. But at that very time, you need to be ready, be on guard for the sell side activity to start to dominate, i.e. price to tap out and start to roll over at really almost exactly precisely at 1 o'clock tomorrow. It's the midday kind of phenomenon at the final trading day of the month, and tomorrow being end of quarter, I can imagine that it might actually even be accentuated somewhat in its over and above its normal tendency. Okay, so that's a trade setup for tomorrow. It's the same trade setup for every end of month, right? The final trading day of the month. Look, that's what I got. S&Ps tomorrow. Over under, line in the sand, 46.11. Bullish case, targets 46.33 and 46.45. Be on guard at 46.45 if it hits there, because that's some serious overhead up there. And bearish case, if it is coming in tomorrow, you're going to target that 45.60 and 45.45. Okay? And then 45. Yeah, 45.45. But look, one more thing too about this. Even if the market does come in some tomorrow and does make it all the way back to a bearish target of 45, like 45 right there, you got to be ready for this to then turn back to bullish again for next week, because next week is the first of the inflows of capital, investment into the first of new quarter and that, that kind of thing. So we would very much anticipate that this uptick that's been persistent, for 11 days or something now, that it continues to the upside next week. Now, I'm on videos next Monday, and we'll have plenty of time to talk about that. But what I'm getting at, moreover, here is even if price does come in tomorrow and breaks and finds like 45.40 something down here, it's still very, 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 very likely that that's just still a retracement for a bullish case that bounces and heads right back up next week. Okay, that's about getting you dialed in as tight as I know how to. So hopefully this has helped, and I'll leave you with that. Look forward to being with you again at the next update. Good night.
Without simpler trading, I could not have financial independence.
This is one of the best investments I ever made in my life.
It's helping me find consistency. It's one of the things that won me